Oh, right in the testicles, dude. Are you kidding me? Withers.
What's up?
How's drive-by Mama Withers doing?
Laying low. After criminal activity.
I wish I could have seen your reaction when you read the first point.
Yeah, I was like, birthday drive-by. I don't know. No one's mentioned anything of this sort to me. So yeah.
Did you see what the Los Angeles Lakers did?
Oh, no, I didn't.
So I don't know if you've heard, folks, coronavirus. You heard about it? You read about this?
Yeah, great wing off the bench out of Auburn.
So a lot of small businesses that
Contagious.
No. Coronavirus Caldwell Pope is
Get it, folks.
So like small businesses nationwide were allowed to apply for grants and loans and things like this to stay afloat during these trying times.
Sure.
The Los Angeles Lakers, a noted, well-known small business, applied for one of these loans.
Mom, Jeannie, and Pop, Jerry Buss, as we know them as.
It only got reported earlier that they returned the $4.6 million so that, like, I don't know, any fucking one else can use it.
Because they got shamed?
Not even. Like that was the first I'd heard of it, period, that they were returning it. Like, oh, this got accidentally deposited into our account. Let's put it over here.
Whoopsie daisy, yeah.
And now it's confirmed that the Lakers were the only NBA team to ask for
that's the bad look. That's the bad look right there.
What a poverty franchise.
We're not even James Dolan. Like when every single owner that's a bad look. And even then, if the Grizzlies did this, it'd be absurd because they still have a billionaire owner.
Correct.
I'm sure. Or a couple hundred millionaire owners.
Correct.
But it'd be more understandable. The Lakers, that's ugly. So why did they give it back? Did they say why they gave it back?
I haven't seen that yet. I'm sure they were hoping like they could, if they came out first with that, they could spin it as like local upstart does good.
Well, yeah. No, what it was going to be, they got, how much would you say, 4.6?
4.6. They got one Avery Bradley.
Yeah, it would have been Lakers give $2.3 million in coronavirus relief. Yeah. Half to be donated toward meals for essential staff, half for masks. Another 2.3 in the pocket. Yeah. Oh, listen. This is exactly why the stars flock there, Ramona Shelburne. Class. It's just a class organization.
It's one of the funniest things I've ever read.
That's a bad look. Did any other sports team, like not even basketball?
This is the only sports team I've heard ever refer to themselves as a small business.
Boy, oh boy. I'll say this, and I say it respectfully. Kobe meant a lot for the brand. A whole lot for the brand.
You think they're in the tank now?
Clearly. Like, what do you mean? Are they in the tank? They asking for handouts, man. How poor? They just sold they hand me down. Dolan just bought just sold their hand me down to the rich guy that just moved across the street.
Hat in hand, LeBron James. Just like, please, sir.
Anthony Tiny Tim Davis. Yeah, come on one single undersized crutch.
Covered in soot.
Us orphan boys have worked all day at the steel mill. We're thinking we might get a second for some lunch, Mrs. Butt. Humbug. Back into the mines. Yeah. And it's like, thank you, Mrs. Bus. Yes, no, thank you. He hobbles back out. It opens the door. And, he opens the door. Dwight and JaVale are like, huh? And he's like,
yeah. POORS, Los Angeles. They're going to have to bring their own jerseys from home next year.
That's very rough.
The only NBA team. I'm referring to them as a small business the rest of my life.
I was gonna say, it's a wrap for all that stars only choose big markets then.
Yeah, finally. A success story.
Yeah, Kawhi and Paul George, they chose a big market. KD and Kyrie for sure, big markets. But Anthony Davis, small market to smaller market.
The first ever riches to rags story I can recall.
The commissioner literally would not let him go to Sacramento. Banned him from signing his name on the line.
That's a state capital. You get your ass to Los Angeles.
He's like, yes, okay. And that poor kid, probably averaging 26 and 12. Oh, I shudder to think of it.
Small business. Are you kidding me?
That's very poor. I'll say this too. This never would have happened under Magic Johnson.
No.
Magic was Mr. Superstar. Mozgov, hell yeah.
Big cash.
Lou all day, absolutely. So this never would have happened on Magic's watch. That's a fact.
No, he would have been tweeting the obvious too. Like, I'm going exceedingly broke keeping this boat afloat. So I guess. Yes, you are.
I've sold several dozen of my movie theaters.
Which are going for well below market value due to no one using movie theaters.
Dude, everybody. I found out, what was it, Timur Fertitta? He got money in more things, but they're also bad things. Like, I thought it was just restaurant MBA, but it's like, I think casinos is one.
Oh, yeah. No, he's invested heavily in places people gather, which on the outs.
Social distancing. Pooey. Is what the Tillman said.
Well, Texas is reopening their doors, I think, like today. So I think people are very much in there.
I mean, that was one of those, listen, how much is it going to take, governor? Whatever. Like what
Abbott, yeah.
Yeah, this is clearly a drop in the bucket. Restaurant, hotels. That was the other one. It's like, hotels.
Boy.
Yeah, a lot of people are going places and staying.
I can't believe, like, I saw a video someone took while on an airplane today being like, you'd think this airplane would have some sort of, like, you're on the airplane. Why are you complaining about the lack of social distancing happening? Like, where are you flying?
Was it like a full flight?
Oh, yeah, packed.
That's disgusting.
Where are these people going?
To the beach, man. This is Texas. That's the worst shit about opening these states up. Your state ain't open. Where you gonna come? Georgia, Texas.
Right.
Like, if you in Tennessee, any of these states, let's go to Georgia. Let's bring this shit with us. Like this. Let's trek this shit over state lines. That's great.
We were talking about this off air the other day, but I think if you want to go out, Godspeed. You don't get to use hospitals. You just don't.
Yeah. And I wish it was one of those things, like, whatever strain they get, it turns your skin blue or something. Like, whatever it is, it's like, sorry, bud. Like, there's no room for debate here. There's
like,
no, I got it from a friend. I was in the house. This shade of blue, buddy, that's royal, man. Come on. Yeah.
You were clearly a host.
Right. Like, I don't want to have to call for security, man, but you got me in a bad spot.
So, yeah, you can opt out of what we're doing. You can fill out a form. You got to carry it around like a license. Like, no, I opted out. I cannot. You can't arrest me. But as of right now, if I get sick, those are the dice I rolled. I can't use the hospital.
Yeah. And it's like, okay, you also we also get to chop your hands off, because just because you sick don't mean you get to touch shit dirty.
Yeah, you don't get to use those anymore. Period. That's your
you don't need them. Yeah.
You want to go one hand, 1 foot? Go ahead.
Yeah. We're never going back outside, man. I'm looking forward to like Memorial Day. It's like the Memorial Day massacre. It turns out, again, hey, alliteration, man. I don't make these rules.
No, it's true. I am wondering though, like if I wish it wasn't so deadly. Like if we all just got it and it was just like, yeah, 2 weeks.
Everybody, if everybody just takes our lumps at the same time, right? You're gonna get it. Everybody take. Yep.
Too many people would die for that. There's a real motherfucker. They've got us in quite the bind. This virus.
I feel like I keep hearing worse shit, even though I try to hear less shit. First, it was like 9 people got it in a restaurant through the AC unit. It spread.
Hell yeah.
Then I heard it was like people that are getting it in their 30s and their 40s. It's causing them to have strokes. I was like, this is awesome. Like I'm having a blast. The most fun. So again, it's not even now. It's like, well, shit. Because again, like I go out, I'm safe when I have to, like grocery store or whatever. But it's like, okay, if I get it, I live by myself. I'm young, relatively healthy. Hopefully I'll beat it. Not anymore. No, right. Whatever it's. Whew.
Yeah, they were real quick to be like, oh yeah, once you beat it and you've got the antibodies, you won't get it again. They were real quick to say that. I don't know that they had all the information when they said that.
I was gonna say, if you make it, the 10% of people that make it out, no, they're invincible. They're basically Wolverine now. There'll be movies about them soon with Vin Diesel. I was gonna say after we beat this. No, I'm not so sure. I'm really not so sure.
I say it a lot. We were given the easiest task that humanity's ever faced. There's been famine, war.
Dude, I don't know if you've seen that too. There's literally too much food right now because people aren't.
I did see that.
They're like smashing eggs and pouring milk down drains, like just rotting potato.
I saw a whole bunch of potatoes.
Like, if it wasn't so fucking devastating, it'd be hilarious. Because I'm just imagining people just smashing hundreds and hundreds of eggs by the day. But no, it's tremendous. It's tremendous that there's that kind of hunger, 1 worldwide and 2 in every single state. Every single state. It's not even like, boy, Oklahoma, man, they're down bad. If we could all really pitch in.
We can hire those ragtag Lakers and they can walk around distributing some of this food.
Small business investment. The Lakers show up on a Shark Tank. Hello, Mr. Silver. I'm looking for 100% equity valued at $4.6 million.
They're on Shark Tank. It's just they're like, now, Mark, you like basketball? He's like, I'm listening.
Yeah, Damon John's like, I don't see it. Pass. Yeah.
LeBron's spinning the ball. Cuban's like, I got a guy like you.
Yeah, I'm also out. And then somebody comes in. She's like, I'll get in. I'll own 100% of the company, and I'll give you $70,000. It's like, deal. Jeannie Buss and Mark Buss are out there like pumping their fists, like, yeah, nailed it. Yeah, she turns around to Jeannie. Take it. Yeah.
I don't think I can remember a funnier story, especially in recent times, because there hasn't been a lot of levity in recent times. But
no. I would love to know why they gave it back. And it probably wouldn't even have been news if they didn't give it back. It's probably one of those things.
Right, that triggered the news.
Yep, like that's like, well, refunds of a certain amount are public a record. Like,
yeah, it would have come out like 4 years from now. Someone just like checking,
right, yeah,
and it would be like, Lakers, Los Angeles. What? Like
right,
the pro shop? Like, nope, that.
Yep. It's like, damn, that was during quarantine. Wow, you close the article and never think about it again.
Right, but coming out now, I'll never forget.
That's bad, man. I'm waiting for the baseball teams. I feel like the baseball teams are brokest.
They are, but they're also like a monopoly, so they have some level of like government protection over them.
Do they?
Yeah, that's why like all the steroid stuff happened on like in congressional hearings.
Yeah. God, imagine if that shit happened in the NBA.
Yeah, the small claims court.
Bomb, bomb, bomb. Bomb, 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 bomb. Bomb, 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 bomb.
I always feel like there's one guy in the court with like really shifty eyes while they're doing that.
Our plaintiff here, Adam Silver, claims the Lakers make way too much money to be at. Bomb, 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 bomb.
Jeannie Buss says, no, we are extremely broke.
Bomb, 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 bomb.
Oh, man. So, yeah, the Lakers are poor. Michael Jordan. Oh, yeah. So, we talked about this a little earlier while we were waiting for an interview we did. But Bill Simmons has come out, and a lot of people can be like, that was Russillo's take. Simmons already co-signed it, and I don't have really many qualms with Russillo. So Bill Simmons said, Dennis Rodman, not interesting.
It's a take. Listen, I listened to it. I went after much debate. Yeah, I listened to it. And yeah, no, they're both heavy on that side of it. I just very much disagree with them.
Did they have any good points?
I'm trying to. It was basically, it was Russillo's point. He did originally bring it up, but the point, when somebody says something, you're like, okay, I'm listening. Like, make your argument. And somebody says something, and you're like, after that, I'm out. He was like, after the way he treated them in San Antonio, I was like, okay, never mind. Like that, I get it. We just see this differently. He's like, are you kidding me? He's gonna decide to take a 48-hour vacation, and this is just funny. I'm like, extremely
wildly.
Like, this is if he did like a 48-hour bender every month, maybe. If this is right. A one time that we know of, like over 82 games. Okay, if they just called those load management now,
right?
Didn't say, like, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, he missed the Friday and Saturday game. He'll be back Tuesday against the Hawks.
It's someone who is so intapped with like the league right now is so worried about mental health, as well they should be. But Dennis Rodman was so in tune with his own. He was like, "Listen, I need this for my own mental, so I don't have to like break down and like clothesline someone at midcourt."
And again, no, my bad. Go ahead.
I was gonna say that's like an incredible thing to self-diagnose, and Bill Simmons like, "Oh, what a bum."
Well, it's also like, and I don't know what happened in San Antonio, but it might have been a thing where it's like, I've been trying to get this forever, and pop like again, they might. I think Kawhi just confirms it now. Like, hey, they have one way. It's fine. It's a successful way,
right?
But if you're not in that way, and that's why they traded him for like Will Perdue. Like, they just wanted him like out of there. But yeah, once he said that, he also was like, I don't like guys that turn it off and turn it on. And the first person he mentioned was Rasheed Wallace, and I was like, I'm out because I love Rasheed Wallace. I get it. I get what you're saying. He's like, well, Rasheed was unhappy in Portland, and then he left, and he's just Mr. Great Teammate in Detroit, and they're a champion now, and everybody's okay with that. I'm like, listen, they were the Jailblazers. Like, it wasn't only like, why should a guy just be stuck in a situation he didn't want to be in? I don't.
And like, there have been countless guys who it's like, oh, if you just got him out of that situation, I'd bet he'd thrive, and then they do. Right. Like, this isn't like a thing that happens like once every 40 years.
I was gonna say, Vince Carter's about to make the Hall of Fame off this.
Like, well, to his credit, he hates Vince Carter.
I know Simmons does. I don't know if Russillo does. And again, Russillo was the main one. But just to go immediately to Rasheed, it's like interesting. When a guy was in a better scenario, he played better.
Right.
And then my only gripe is if you sign a contract and you don't immediately I want out. That's kind of weak.
Mm-hmm.
But they didn't mention that. So those were the two. Once he said those two things, I was like, we're just gonna disagree here. He was like, nothing He was like, Rodman's like the misunderstood guy. He was like, we didn't learn anything new about Rodman, which I was like, I don't disagree with that. I didn't know, nobody knew this Vegas story, I don't think, but
no,
in general. But I was like, I didn't learn a whole lot new about the bad boy Pistons, but I still like to watch it. Like, I don't.
Yeah. I mean, he looked like,
yeah.
ESPN, this was like when they did that 3-part Celtics Lakers series. No one learned shit new about that. Right. I didn't hear anyone other than me complaining. Like, and I didn't even complain. I was just like, yeah, I knew all that. Yeah. And it was sick to watch, but it was like, okay.
Yeah. And yeah, he's like, so he's so misunderstood. And it's like, okay, so he's on Barbara Walters. Explain yourself. Well, I'm just misunderstood. I dyed my hair and all this stuff. I'm like, he didn't book himself on Barbara Walters.
Right.
Like, I know, it's just, I see where he's coming from. We're just on two completely opposite sides of this.
But those all seem like even more like, I just don't like this guy, not even defending the like he's not interesting part.
Which again, we talked about a little bit earlier. I'd respect that much more if they were like, man, I just don't like that guy. He rubbed me the wrong way. I didn't like him. Like, whatever. Okay, I get that.
Right.
But if you're gonna say this guy that was a part of 2 dynasties, are the Pistons a dynasty? Like back to back, and it was something I think someone said back to back at a time where nobody. It was like Russell, and then those Magic Lakers were the only guys to go back to back. So going back to back then, and the way they did it, like they went through the Celtics, Bulls, and Lakers in the same year, and lost 2 games that entire postseason. So. But it was only 2-year run. So whatever it is, whatever their run.
I mean, they didn't even win the second most titles in the 80s.
Yeah, and that's the thing.
So it's hard to say that was a dynasty.
Right. And
again, like what's the closest you can be to a dynasty without being a dynasty?
The Pistons? No.
Well, that's what I mean. Like they're a notch above like the Cavs team that won it once, the other Pistons team that won it once, the 08 Celtics. Like they're a notch above that.
Yeah.
But Mavs. I don't know.
I'm trying to think what else they said. I would.
Like, would you call the LeBron Heat a dynasty?
No.
Right.
So I would also. Nobody. I mean, I don't know if anybody ever has a run like that. Like Celtics. Bulls, Jordan when he was Jordan,
right?
Lakers, and those previous 2 years, I think they won in 88 and 89. 86, they lost to the Celtics in 7. I think like the 86, like best team ever, lost to them in the conference finals. 87, they lost to the Lakers in Game 7 of the finals. So that's one of those.
Right.
They were like very close to having 3, maybe 4. Like who knows? They just play the Lakers well. Who knows? They might have 3 or 4 or.
Yeah, if they beat the Celtics in '86, they would have beat the Rockets. Rockets just weren't.
That's what I'm saying. So, but
and then '87, I think they went to 7 with the Celtics that year too. Like, so they were. Probably. It was a true like changing of hands, is what I'm saying. It was like they went to 7, lost. I believe they went to 6 or 7 and won, and then lost to the Lakers, and then they got over that hump next year.
Yeah, and they whooped ass that year.
Oh yeah, they were super ready.
Yeah, and it's. Like they talked about that, it was like the Pistons thing is they're kind of like underappreciated and just like, I mean, like again, you went up against like the Bulls, Celtics, Lakers. You beat those guys, so you get your credit, but you also weren't those guys, so you don't get that credit. It is what it is. Like the Celtics, won 3 in the 80s, but were in 5 other like
at least.
Yeah, so like same with the Lakers. Somebody had to win and lose those. You got 2 at the end.
How many the Sixers
at the right time? In the 80s, 1.
Okay, I can't remember if it was.
I think it was 83. I want to say
that was the.
Was it 84 then? I think it was the year before they got Barkley, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, I thought it was 82 because 83 the Lakers beat them.
Yeah, let me. Right? I'm checking right now. Let me make sure because I may have.
I thought it went.
Okay, 81-82, they lost in the finals. 82-83, they won the finals.
They won, okay.
Yep.
And then 84 was Celtics?
Yeah, let me see. Where's just a list of, here we go. Champions, all of them. I'd much prefer that. Because the 80s, I just know it's just a glut of
green, yellow.
Yeah, Lakers. Oh yeah, that Magic rookie year that was over the Sixers.
Yeah.
Next year, Celtics win over the Rockets, 81. Next year, Lakers win over the Sixers again. That next year, 76ers win over the Lakers. That was 83.
83.
And then it starts Celtics Lakers play 84, 85, and they split. 86 Celtics take it over the Rockets. Then it's Lakers back to back, Pistons back to back, Bulls, and then everybody goes back to back really after that to the Spurs. Spurs won a bunch but never went back to back. And
which is wild.
It is wild. Like, I can't believe that. I still, as I think back about it, I can't believe that Heat team only won 2 championships. In my head, I always give LeBron 4. And every time I'm like, no, he's only got 3. Because I feel like I remember the Mavs loss, but the Spurs loss is where they just got rolled. That's
it wasn't close.
I think it may still be like the highest margin of victory in the final.
They were blowing them the fuck out.
Steamrolled. And it was like halfway through game 2. It's like, boy, they got nothing for them.
Yeah, it was game 2. Because I remember being like, well, surely the Heat are going to figure something out. Yeah. And then it was like game 4. No. I don't think they're going to figure anything out.
Game 1 was the cramp game, I think.
Yeah.
That the Heat won. And then that was pretty much that. That turned into a lot of videos. It's like LeBron was averaging 27, 8, and 9. And they're like, is it really 27, 8, and 9? I was like, all right. That's how y'all know this final sucks.
Yeah.
But after that, I remember all the champs after that. It's the 80s but the Pistons get their, I feel like, appropriate credit. I can't say it's a dynasty, but it's damn close. Congrats.
Yeah, no, listen, they had a great run of it.
I didn't realize the Sixers made that many.
They were forced.
Yeah. And they won 83, and I think Barkley was an 84 draft.
I believe so.
Which stinks.
Yeah, he was like the 5th pick right after Jordan, right?
No, the Barkley was a different draft. Jordan was 83 draft?
No, Jordan was for sure 84.
84. Okay, then Barkley was 85.
Nope.
Let me see. 86?
No, he was 2 picks after Jordan. I'm right sometimes too, you know.
I'll be damned. You know who I'm thinking of? That the other bad guy that we don't talk about.
Oh, you comparing him to Barkley?
Well, listen, I remember somebody took an MVP off Jordan. He's the 85 draft, 13th. That's who I was thinking of. Will not happen again.
No.
That's hand up on me.
Yeah, because this was part of why they call obviously it's Jordan and it came in the top 3, but Barkley being that right in the top 5, and Sam Perkins is where it gets that argument for the greatest draft of all time.
Stockton too.
I also always forget there's a guy named Devin Durant who's in this draft.
Devin Durant. That's very funny.
Yeah, incredible hair.
Jerome Kersey was in this draft. Greg Wiltshire. Is that Kyle Wiltshire's pops? Holy shit. I'll be damned.
Where's he?
I was just scrolling down. Greg Wiltshire went number 43, 2nd round to the Bulls. And I was like, is that Kyle Wiltshire that used to play at Kentucky's pops? Sure is.
Where'd he go? Gonzaga after that?
Transferred to Gonzaga.
I was going to say. Only you and you alone would be like the Kentucky product, Kyle Wiltshire.
Hey, listen, he be in videos for Kentucky. He know where his bread is buttered.
Smart. Rick Carlisle was the 70th pick.
Okay. This is way too many picks.
It's absurd.
For how many? 22 teams? Get out of here.
There were...
Kevin Willis was in this draft? Yeah,
there were 228 picks.
For I need a 83 standings. Let me see, because how many teams you want to guess are in the league?
I think it's like 24.
Let's see. It's like 17. What? 83. Because nobody came into what? Timberwolves, right? Timberwolves and Magic. Like 80.
Are they next?
788, I think. Yes, as of right now, there are 23 teams. 11 in the East, 12 in the West.
Well, there are 24 picks in this round, so someone was added.
Yeah, okay. Let's see who's next year.
No, the Bullets are way older than that.
No, yeah, it's still 11 and 12. Somebody had double duty.
How? Yeah, Philly's got 2 picks, but like, wow, why are they adding an extra pick in the first round?
Comp picks. I don't know. That is why. That is why.
23 teams, 24 picks. The lottery back then was to see who got the bonus pick.
Stern was like, I gotta clean this shit up, dude. Are you kidding me?
Well, then the second round, it goes to the 47th pick's the last pick. So they went right back to 23.
It's got to be like a note on here, like somebody. I have no idea. That's very bizarre.
It's chaos. Yeah, Philly's got 2 picks.
But yeah, 4 Hall of Famers, first 16 picks. That's strong. I don't know if probably 96. How many others can make that claim? 03?
Yeah, there's 3 Hall of Famers in the top 5 of this.
Mm-hmm.
Or excuse me, MVPs.
Pretty good.
Yeah.
And you could argue one guy should have won all of them. Wild.
Correct.
Melvin Turpin, the legend. Hey, Kevin Willis was nice. I only remember Kevin Willis as being like really old.
Correct.
But he was that deal. Like, didn't realize it. He played like 20 years, but averaged like a 12 and 8 over 20 years, which is impressive, even with the later years bringing your average down. He averaged 18 and 16 in 1991. Kevin Willis.
Ah, boy. I sorted this draft by VORP.
No, hit me. Jordan's not 1.
Jordan is 1. Stockton's 2. With like a healthy lead over Charles at 3. Hakeem a distant 4th.
Interesting.
But I was looking for Kevin Willis because you said him. 47th.
Oh no.
He's got a -1 VORP. He played 21 years to tally a -1.
Damn, like 20 would have been even Steven, huh?
Devin Durant's ahead of him.
Oh, what the hell?
He's 41st.
See, I don't even understand what that means because I'm looking right now. Let me see. Yeah, he had from 1986 to 1995. What's that? 8-9 seasons. He averaged 16 points, 10 boards on 50% shooting. Again, not saying he's a Hall of Famer.
-4.
PU. Like it's not 18 and 12. Was he just that bad of a defender or something? These defensive rating numbers aren't kind, Mick.
I'll be honest. Neither is offensive.
Okay, no, listen. Advanced numbers. Kevin Willis was terrible defensively. That's where it brings down his value.
He was a -2.1 for his career, box plus minus.
Negative on offense and defense. Never mind. Actually, just fuck everything I said, huh? What do you think?
Tyler's like, Barkley was the 94 draft, you buffoon. Kevin Willis.
I'm like, no, you know what? You know who should really get some Hall of Fame buzz, Mick? The worst player of all time.
Yeah, this wasn't even like the late years, just fucking like he was consistently, according to advanced numbers, bad at sports.
Like he made an all-star team. He made an all-NBA. He won a ring for the Spurs like in a time when he was playing bench minutes, but legit bench minutes. Like he wasn't like a 15th man. Holding him back.
I might put him in the Finesse Hall of Fame. He only made 31.5 mil.
Okay. Hey, listen, we looked at Barkley yesterday. He made 43, I think.
Yeah.
We found out Barkley was a net negative too. MVP is actually bad.
Yeah, no, he hung on for, again, he played 21 years, so 31 and a half mil, considering he broke into the league. They don't even have his rookie salary here. It
wasn't getting paid.
Yeah, he was on the Lakers, so they were we'll give you 2 burgers tomorrow for. But yeah, he was making a shade under 300K in 85, 86. So, and he never made more than 2.8. No, he made 2.9 once. Nope, 3.6. All right, so he made 3.6.
You know what it is, and I see it now. He was like the most durable man on the planet.
Oh yeah.
Like games for 82, 82, 81, 75, missed a year entirely because of his knee, and then came back strong.
Yeah.
81, 80, 81, 80, 80, and was playing like 37 minutes a game during the year. So these are probably, these are like, because even like the Dominique Hawks, forgotten, just probably the 4th best, maybe, with like the Bucks, or I guess the Sixers of the 80s. And just forgotten. He was like, yeah, I'm doing numbers for this team that stinks.
They stink because he was there. He was dragging them down.
Dude, they played. This is why they was losing. The 91 Hawks, or excuse me, the 90 Hawks were playing Moses Malone and Kevin Willis. Talk about big ball. The biggest ball. Historically big ball.
Dominique playing some 2.
Yeah, good Lord. Listen, Nick was still at 27-7, so he's handling his business.
I might start picking him on these $15 teams because he's always $1, and I never consider him. I'm always like, eh.
Dude, I look back. I don't think he's on either one of our top 50 lists.
Dominique?
Yeah.
No, I probably would have had him like right around 50. I definitely didn't put him on though.
That's what I'm saying. And he had I would love to know how many runner-up scoring titles he has just because he was in the Jordan era.
Yeah.
Because, for a solid decade, he averaged 84, 85 to 94, 95. He was at 27 and 7. 3 assists, 46% shooting. Got to the line 8 times a game.
And routinely losing.
Listen, he's dragging up Willis, man.
Oh, now we're blaming Kevin Willis. He was nice 5 seconds ago.
I'm looking now at Nick's advanced numbers. He's a positive. Gotta wonder why Willis.
I was gonna say it's even a bigger positive if he was sharing the court with that bum Kevin Willis.
Dominique Wilkins is actually the best player of all time.
Yeah.
They're dragging these thinkers.
Yeah, he's like, I've got this literal shackle around my waist. I've been playing with a weighted vest my whole career. And this Jordan fella, he's getting all these coaches. He's got teammates.
You know what I do for Horace Grant instead of this bum? Kidding me? I can't believe Kevin Willis stumped. I see him out. Every time I'm at a Hawks game, but I see Kevin Willis, I'm gonna tell him next time. I'll be like, "Hey, big fan." However,
he's sticking it up.
You know, he's not a big fan. Every number ever.
Yeah, round numbers. Even numbers, odd. That's very funny. Were
Neek and Jordan back-to-back draft? No, there was a gap in between. That was okay. That was the 83 draft. That was the Ralph Sampson draft where everybody was basically just begging Ralph Sampson to come out.
Yeah. Why didn't someone just use a future pick on Jordan then? Was that already out?
It had to. I think it was out because I remember on either reading or seeing that Red Auerbach wanted Sampson that way. But I think it must have been just like out. Like Bird might have been like his last
maybe
hold the rights pick, and they were like, no.
Yeah, they're like enough.
Yeah, no, fuck that. Yeah.
This guy keeps using 5th round picks on Hall of Famers.
Yeah, Larry Bird's like, listen, there's a kid from my town. He's in 11th grade. He's like, 11th grade? I got you. 8th round pick. Yeah. I've just got his right. Like, what do you want?
Yeah, Red Auerbach every year uses first on someone who's actually ready to come out, and then the rest of his draft on just throwing dart. Like, yeah, I don't know. This kid,
LeBron James Jr., my 9th round pick. Bryce Maximus, my 10th round pick. Zuri is my third. Like I'm taking every Dwayne Wade kid. I'm taking every Carmelo and like anybody. It's like one of these kids is gonna pop, like
without question, and they're all gonna be pals too. Yeah, that's what a dumb league.
I can't believe he stunk, man.
Devin Durant?
No, he was good. I mean Willis, that stinky stinkster. But yeah, I think he wanted Ralph. I think Ralph Sampson stayed 3, maybe 4 years because Red Auerbach was like, please, baby, I'll draft you whatever. Just like I'll do it like my kids, my crops.
Yeah, every year he just keeps drafting them. And they're like, you know what, we're done with this.
Right.
Sorry.
He's like, I took Wilt Chamberlain's son every day for a decade, or every draft for a decade. Ooh, now I'm looking at the '83 draft, the Dominique draft.
Okay.
So he's the all-time leader in VORP. I don't know if you know much about that draft. You want to take a stab at who's second? There's some solid names, I'll say. A lot of all-stars.
Is this McHale?
No. This is first pick of this draft was James Worthy.
That doesn't help.
I was gonna say it might. Yeah.
Just triggers. I'm like, oh yeah.
Yeah, the same. He and Hakeem also went number 1. I remember.
Yeah, I don't know the rest of that draft.
Yeah, this is 8 because I think that's a great all-time what if. Worthy went number 1 to the Lakers. 2, the San Diego Clippers took Terry Cummings. 3, the Utah Jazz took Dominique Wilkins, and he refused to play in Utah.
Smart.
I've always loved Nick for that. 4 was Billy Garnett, as everyone knows.
Mm-hmm.
LaSalle Thompson, Trent Tucker, guys of this nature. But number 2 in VORP was the man picked number 11 in this draft out of Arizona State. The Fat Lever.
Wow.
Right ahead of James Worthy in VORP for this draft. So
I mean, that's obvious. I just thought he would have been drafted. I guess I would have like earlier, like 81, maybe 79, somewhere around there.
See, that's like I've got it sorted now. There are a lot of like Ricky Pierce, Sleepy Floyd, Mark Eaton, Cliff Levingston, Clark Kellogg, like a lot of it's like, oh, okay, I remember those guys. But not a lot of Terry Teagle is the worst player in this draft via VORP.
I can see that. That's the name that you would never find me drafting.
The Teagster. Oh, the 15th pick in this draft, out of Bradley to the Phoenix Suns, David Thurkill.
Oh,
he was a second rounder.
You know what Sleepy Floyd could have used, Tyler? Death Wish coffee. That's right.
Yes, that's right.
In this seemingly never-ending lockdown the world is going through, it's hard to stay motivated, especially when you're supposed to be working from home. It took me an embarrassingly long time to figure out why everyone kept tweeting WFH. But thanks to the people at Death Wish Coffee, makers of the world,
Waffle House, dude. Like my brain is just so broken.
Makers of the world's strongest coffee. You can stay caffeinated to do whatever you do when the baseball season isn't happening, despite how hard they're trying, when the gym is closed, things like this. Death Wish coffee is available in whole bean, ground, death cups, and cold brew. You crack a can of that cold brew with its smooth, strong taste that packs 300 milligrams of caffeine per can. You're going to be like a little motivated hummingbird. Yeah. We want to help you up your coffee game because right now it's pretty weak. When you go to, it's embarrassingly weak. It's the Kevin Willis of coffee. When you go to deathwishcoffee.com/tape, you can enter to win a MacBook Pro, Death Wish Cold Brew, Barstool Sports merchandise, and a year's worth of Death Wish coffee. That's deathwishcoffee.com/tape. If you're looking for some coffee ASAP, You can also receive 15% off your entire purchase with promo code Mickstape. Check it out now.
I will.
You better. But yeah, the uninteresting Dennis Rodman, I can't remember.
Yeah, he's so boring.
This is persona non grata, Donald Rodman. What else? Like, did you take anything away from this one last night?
I'm trying to think. I feel like the thing I keep taking away, I think Michael Jordan keeps coming off better and better.
Without question.
And like Simmons said, I think he said like 6, 7, 8 is the ones where it's like, these are the ones where people might think he's a bad guy. So I was like, it's coming. But I was like, so far, I was like, he's been more endearing than I've ever seen him.
The Burrell stuff was very funny.
Yeah, that's where I'm hoping. Like, I think they're teasing that for what's coming up of him just busting balls, which would be great. But I mean, yeah, the Rodman thing was fine. I thought they could have did more on like Phil Jackson, honestly.
Well, they converted him to full Native American, which is tough.
Sure. And he was going back and forth with the I word, being loose and fancy free, man.
I would watch an entire 30 for 30 just on Puerto Rican basketball. Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. Like, there's some stuff, and like Bomani said, I think Simmons said it too. Like, there's so much they didn't go into like the transition from Phil Jackson. Like, Phil Jackson basically campaigning to get that job.
Mm-hmm.
And Doug Collins alluded to it. It seemed like he wasn't really going to get into it, but we know Phil Jackson.
Right.
Like, he got in with Tex Winter, who Jerry Krause loved. Like, it was all strategic. It is what it is. It worked. So, I mean,
without question, it worked.
I mean, they were all set first year, so Krause was on the hot seat. Oh, that's right. He was never on the hot seat during any.
No. No, Garpax, it took for like, I don't even think their seat ever got hot. I think they just like were asked to move nicely.
Yeah, it was Jay Adonde was like, this is what kind of owner Jerry Reinsdorf is. In '94, like the baseball strike, he was the main one arguing like, well, if we just cancel the World Series, we cancel the World Series. If White Sox were in first place. That was the year Frank Thomas was about to say, like, he still won MVP. He just didn't like 119 games. And Reinsdorf was still like, I'm not paying the $5, man. Like, that's the level of like owner Jerry Reinsdorf. Like, he don't care about this shit. And he said he would trade all 6 of those rings for a White Sox World Series, which is a hilarious thing to say.
They won in 05.
This was before that, though. He was like between 98 and 05, he was like, oh, in a heartbeat. Oh, if Jordan could have hit a curveball instead of scored 30, I'd have married him. Like,
listen, it's real easy to be that guy, like Donald Sterling when you're in last place. Super easy to be that guy. When you're in first, which is the best team in the league, and you're just still no. That's respectable.
Yeah. He was like, I don't care. It's like, dude, we all 3 of us hate the same guy. If you remove one of these guys, and Jerry Reinsdorf was like, y'all hear something?
He's like, well, I am the immovable one. So,
right, yeah, I am the one. You guys I'm driving. You guys figure out shotgun.
I thought they kind of very quickly glossed over Dennis Rodman's suicide attempt outside of the stadium.
Yeah. I was gonna say, that was another one. I was like, I didn't know that.
Oh, yeah.
I just did not remember that.
Listen, if you'd watched this movie, you would know that. I would never forget it.
What, and sleep through it? That guy's boring.
I went on with Carl and Eddie after, and neither of them had seen it either. My goal out of all this quarantine is to get everyone to watch Dennis Rodman's, I believe, self-funded movie.
What's it called?
Let's see. I want to see if there's a preview for it on YouTube.
Yeah, as I said, I'm not opposed to watching this, but where would one watch it?
I caught it on fucking like Showtime one random day.
Mm.
Is it Bad as I Want to Be? Is that it? Yeah, Bad as I Want to Be.
Okay. Does he play himself?
No, but he shows up a lot. Like there's a lot of like random asides where he just pops up.
He's Dennis Rodman's best friend.
No, he just straight up breaks the third wall and starts talking.
Okay, I appreciate that.
Let's see. I found it like 15 minutes of it on.
Okay.
That's how it starts, I'm pretty sure.
This is what year?
You're asking a lot of questions, man.
Hey, man. Because I need to know why I've never seen this.
This was 98.
Okay. This is what he went to Vegas for. People think he was partying. He had a deadline to beat.
Special appearance.
It's like the Bulls special appearance by Chicago.
Yeah, this is I think this is the Busta Rhymes music video.
I've seen this before. Hey, Oak Cliff ain't no hoe. I know that.
Certainly no Flower Mound.
No, well, everyone knows that.
So yeah, that was just the intro. That was like opening credits.
Okay, it's really setting the scene. We find out Dennis Rodman's actually the cop they're running from.
Biography of Chicago Bulls basketball star Dennis Rodman, who's well known for his off-court and on-court shenanigans, takes great effort to paint the calm, decent side of the athlete despite the film title. Dennis is shown to be pushed by his mama to play pro. That's what in the actual summary, to play pro ball and go to college where he would get the opportunity. Shipped to Oklahoma where he faces racism. He's taken in by a white family and coached by Lon Reisman. The movie finally tracks Rodman into his wild, multi-hair colored current lifestyle. And yeah, there's a whole scene where he like does Madonna in this movie.
Of course. Based on the book by Dennis Rodman with Tim Keown.
Yeah, no, there's like he basically the way this movie tells it, he gets discovered like on like a random like playground basketball court.
I believe that's pretty. I feel it's like 90% of people were discovered until like 98. That's Dennis, I'm guessing.
Yeah. See, it's holding a basketball.
Yeah, he got the ball in his hand. I got you.
I don't remember this beginning at all. How much backstory does there need to be?
I was gonna say they're really laying it thick, Mick. That's the reason I never seen this.
His mom down at the court's like, play basketball. He's like, no.
She's like, then you got to get the hell out of my house. He was like, okay. Say less.
But yeah, once he gets to playing, I think they pretty much gloss over Detroit too. It's mostly about like college, and then I think this is the coach. I think his mom just brought him there.
That really is how it. Yeah, listen, my son's good. How tall is he? 6'6". I'm on my way. Like that was,
and he's furious. He's like, I won't do it.
I want to wear this vest.
He's like,
you can't wear that vest. It's not outside. Why are you wearing that?
I knew it was a mistake to play basketball like this.
I understand, Dennis. You cannot wear that vest. I know you're pissed you can't wear that vest. But look.
It's like the first 30 minutes are just about the vest, and it's like, why didn't we edit any of it?
Like, no, he's building. He's building with the vest.
Yeah. Like, listen, Dennis was adamant that we keep in the vest. Yeah, I don't know how this ended up on my television, but I've wherever, like, it was at least 20 minutes in. Because I saw that scene, so it was at least 10 minutes in And I was like, I like Dennis Rodman, and I just stayed.
Simple and plain.
Yeah, I was like, here we go.
You know who cut this off? Bill Simmons.
Yeah, cut it on. Yeah. I wish we got a scene where he just randomly stops the movie to talk about what's happening, because that happens frequently.
Durant, another Durant. What the hell is this? Never heard the name Durant in my life. Never heard it 3 times a day. Like what? Kevin Durant was the first Durant I'd ever heard of.
Correct.
In my life. And the old mailbox.
I'm trying to. Yeah, no one else we've ever heard of is in this movie.
No, I haven't seen any familiar faces.
No.
My wife's dressed like a Look,
trouble's brewing.
He's tall.
Oh boy.
Yeah, this looked like trouble.
Like, where's your vest boy?
My mom made me take it off. Zesty, leave me alone.
Oh, I wish there was more of this. Surely it must be somewhere.
This movie don't even exist. You put this together. Produced by Totally Vic. What the hell?
This is it. Oh boy, we might have it.
This is the whole thing. Oh wow.
Wow.
Nah. We gotta do like a rewatch. We gotta make this his own thing.
Without question. I just want to find where he interjects. Work in the fields. What?
Oklahoma wild boy. Hey, Tulsa, man. It's bad news. Oh man. This don't look like the Dennis Rodman story at all.
How about now?
What? Okay, now a little bit. Is that Madonna? I'm guessing.
No, we're not even there yet. I don't think.
Demons.
Yeah, this is Madonna. I'm pretty sure.
Okay, that's the biggest T-shirt I've ever seen, dude. It's barely hanging on his shoulder.
Oh yeah, here we go. This is the.
Okay. Well, so yeah, what he was. I don't know, just like drunk or something, just having like a bad trip, or just going through it. Like I didn't know anything about this one.
Again, I learned it from this movie, so I am not the person to ask.
Listen, no, you was Rodman expert before.
But yeah, this shotgun on the floor. This scene I remember vividly.
What's wrong, boy? You looking for a vest?
Oh, Brooks Brothers closed.
I mean, I believe all this happened. I just can't believe that it took him going to Oklahoma to.
Well, I think he's in the league at this point.
No, but I mean, even then, like just the early stuff, like the summary you read was like where you get experience racism in Oklahoma. Oh, yeah. I was like, huh, Oklahoma. Huh. 20 years in, interesting.
He did wear this.
Yeah. You wore that yesterday in the dock. That's definitely the actual hat.
Right. Oh, yeah. No, they didn't make 2 of those.
This guy looks nothing like Dennis Rodman.
No.
There's a lot of him.
Oh, this is Madonna. Here we go. There's more scenes I remember far too vividly. I was like 11. I was like,
this. I love it. Blacked.
No, there's only one guy. That would never make black.
The rest of the 97 Bulls pull up.
So let Jordan go first. He doesn't cause that much of a stir down there.
Fuck you, Dennis.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah, Scotty's like, I'll go last. Yeah. Yeah, right. He's just having a little fun of it, man.
Yeah, we will have to do this entire movie.
We got to get Jeff Lowe in here.
Without question. Oh, yeah, look at these Spurs jerseys.
Oh, man. It's just a Spur, like clip art Spur.
Listen, they're playing the Lakers. The Lakers might actually be wearing these next year. Oh, yeah, the final scene is like, well, we've got someone on the phone, and it's Michael Jordan on the other end.
Does it actually show him?
No.
Like who's supposed to be Michael Jordan? Because I would love it.
I'm pretty sure the phone, like the phone rings and it's for Dennis, and they hand it to Dennis Rodman, and he's like, Michael Jordan.
And that's when the movie ends. He mentioned
here it is.
Bill Simmons mentioned that part. He was like, he was out of control in San Antonio. He took his shoes off during the playoff game. I was like, I don't really sound that out of control. Like, I don't. Did he throw him in the stand? Like, what? There's DR.
You know, they finished filming this, and he was like, I want to make $100 million.
Yeah, he's like, no, this is my retirement, guys. Mike, you keep playing ball like a dummy. Is that his real life daughter?
Who knows, dude? I'm so happy the whole thing's on here.
I stay automatic.
I'm worried this is in a different language, which if someone translated this movie, I don't know. Yeah.
We just read the script and reenact the entire movie.
There's a Facebook group about this. Oh boy. Yeah, bad as I want to be. All time.
Yeah,
all
favorite
time. It was uploaded 1 month ago.
Oh yeah. Now someone was like, man, I'm bored as fuck, dude. It's the worst shit I could upload. Like,
what will surely not be taken down by any copyright infringements?
Yeah, so Dennis Rodman's people is gonna see this. Get out of here.
Yeah, it's an hour 24 of just heat.
I know that shit's awful.
Terrible.
I can't wait.
I'm the only person who's ever seen it, and this guy who uploaded it.
It's you and Dennis Rodman, yeah. Look, Dennis Rodman uploaded it. What do you mean, the guy who uploaded it? Yeah, uploaded by Denny R.
Kevin Durant.
Yeah.
Yeah, bad as I want to be. The box office topper of 1998.
Yeah, no, it was that. It was Titanic. It was Gone with the Wind. Those three won Best Picture unanimously.
Yeah, the first ever tie.
Now, there was something else. I did learn something from the documentary. It wasn't about Rodman, though.
All right, like, let's spill it.
No.
All right,
no, yeah. No, make you all guess. Yeah. I knew like the Scotty migraine game, and I knew it was a playoff game. I did not know it was like Game 7 of the Eastern Conference Finals.
Oh yeah, terrible timing.
I did not know that. So like that year, yeah, they lose in 7 there because Pippen and Horace Grant do nothing that game. That's one of the Pistons' rings. They just roll up the Blazers, who the Bulls certainly would have rolled up.
Without question.
So we might be looking at 7-0 in Jordan. They didn't mention, Simmons said it, and I didn't know, maybe they said it during the documentary, that Pippen's dad had died like a couple days before that game. I don't remember them saying that in the doc.
The migraine game?
Yeah.
They certainly didn't say it last night.
I was gonna say, yeah, I was like, that would make some sense. Interesting. And yeah, Jordan still wasn't buying it. But
it was very funny when they brought up the game. Jordan was like, yeah, migraine game. And then at the end, he was trying to be like, no, I get it. I understand. It's hard to play with a migraine, fucking pussy.
It's like, I get it. Weak human beings and women get those from time to time. But he was laying it on thick. But that's one now where somebody would have a hot take, and then everybody would immediately turn on that person. Like, you don't understand mental health. Migraines are, and everybody would yell at him.
Yeah.
But I didn't know his father died like days before that game, apparently.
No, that certainly makes it tough. But even the way he was talking about it, because obviously I've lived my whole life being like, yeah, what a pussy. Sure. But actually thinking about it, like having a migraine and hearing like the slightest noise and your whole body just hurts. I can't imagine having a migraine, those bright ass lights shining on you, thousands of people surrounding you screaming at
yelling it. Dude, he played 42 minutes that game. I didn't know that. I knew he had the game, but I thought it was like I couldn't go. He played 8 minutes, 42. So,
and Dennis Rodman covering you,
right? Yeah, he's like, I couldn't even see the ball, and now I got Dennis Rodman in my jersey. Like,
so yeah, I think this is so far looked good for he and Jordan and Pippen.
Yeah, the thing. Pippen got a lot of sympathy with the money thing. I know there's a lot of should he have gotten that sympathy.
Correct.
But he has gotten it. Yeah, he's looked good. Jordan's looked more human. Krause looks terrible. What can you do?
Terrible. Can't say shit about it.
Yeah, that's just the game. I think Reinsdorf should be getting more flack. He's the guy that I can't believe is just not getting more flack. Another thing I also didn't realize, and I hope this is what I hope they get into in game or series 5 or part 5. That was Magic's last playoff series.
The loss to the Pistons?
No, the loss to Michael Jordan. Yeah, 91. I didn't realize that. That was his last. That was June 91. He announced he was positive in November in a pre-season physical. That's how he found out.
Then the Lakers dynasty came to an abrupt halt.
Yeah. And it was like he had won MVP in 90 and made first team in 91. And I looked it up like he was 31. Steph Curry's 31.
Right.
Steph Curry is coming off like if just last finals. It was just like, wow. Yeah, he lost and now he's never going to play again. He has a disease we don't understand at all.
He'll be back in 4 years, maybe.
Yeah, he goes overseas to Scandinavia for a little while, but he'll be back. But I didn't realize. I thought Magic was a little bit more on the other side of his prime when he was coming down, but no, like the year after MVP, he made first team, smack dab. I didn't realize that, and also I didn't realize that first it was like he had to get Magic then. He literally didn't have another chance.
Right.
But yeah, I just had no idea.
Yeah, I think because of the way Bird went out and he kept holding on through the early 90s and was just a shell of himself, I think that gets lumped in with how Magic left. Like, oh, he must have not been the same. Like, no, he was still good when he came back, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was playing like power forward, and then he was just like, nah. Then I think he tried to like coach the team a little bit. Then he was just like, yeah, man. He played in Scandinavia, which I never knew until today. Yeah,
that I don't think I knew.
He came back for. Also, I did not realize when he came back the last time he played 32 games. I didn't realize he played that many. He was 30
more.
He was 36 years old. He averaged 15, 6 boards, 7 assists on 47, 38, 86 shooting. Was shooting 2 threes a game. This was him at 36 after 4 full seasons off.
With AIDS.
With HIV. He didn't go play baseball. Yeah. It wasn't Vietnam.
Some light.
Yeah. But yeah, like that 90, 91, 79 games, averaging 19, 7 boards, and 12 and a half assists.
Yeah, he was chilling.
Yeah. So, and boy, oh boy. Like, you know how many of those like pre-season physicals like they've just done and knocked out? Like, come on, do we even really have to do this? Come on.
Right.
Like, Magic, you should sit down.
To be fair to him, if he didn't get that test and just kept playing, would anything have changed?
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those we probably wouldn't have found out until it was way too late, like something really bad happened.
Yeah.
Like Probably nothing even on the court. Probably something like in the training room or something. Like they just didn't know his blood should not be. Yeah.
Well, first he would have given it to like 1,000 more women.
Minimum.
Yeah. So that would be a problem.
So a lifesaver.
But B, I know he's been able to throw money and the best medication at it, but I always feel like he's just been beating it with his mind, with his own will. He's just been putting it in a headlock for 30 years now.
I'll say he's one of those like that level of positivity. Like correct. I believe, yeah. So not everybody would, but I agree with you on him.
Yeah, he's just like, what do you? I don't lose often. So I don't play.
Yeah, he's like it is what it is. Like my left foot's a little bit bigger than my right. Like I got HIV. It is what it is. You're
a bad hand sometimes.
Yeah,
right?
I mean, yeah. It didn't all come up for EJ. But
highs and lows. I got my balance.
But yeah, I really had no idea. Like he lost that finals, and like that was it. And it was about to go into like a new, like Kareem was gone. I think Worthy was. I don't know if Worthy was on that team. I feel like Worthy's slick. I won't say overrated, but you talk about right place, right time.
Big time.
Oh my God! Like if that pick was, and it could have been just Dominique Wilkins. Come on, man.
Has any number one pick ever been asked to do less? You know what I mean? Like
like what man? Oh man!
Join the show.
Listen, okay. Here's the list, the entire task list we need from you, James Worthy. 1, run and fast break. Got you. That's it. Just run and fast break. That's it.
2, do not contract the HIV virus.
And he still had an incident. He got. Oh, it was. I want to make sure I get the year right. He got busted. I remember this from the Jordan rules. He got busted with prostitutes one night while he was playing.
Who among us?
That's what I'm saying. And if I'm not mistaken, he might have played that night. You talk about big. You talk about big game James. Let me see. And I remember because in the Jordan rule, we go. November 14th, 1990, Worthy was arrested in Houston, charged with 2 counts of solicitation of prostitution. He was in the city with the Lakers for a game against the Rockets. According to the police, prior to the game, Worthy called a local escort service and requested that 2 women be sent to meet him in his hotel room. Unbeknownst to Worthy, police had already shut down the escort service. Instead, they sent 2 undercover Vice Squad officers to the hotel to meet him. He played no contest. A month later, he played no contest, was sentenced to 1 year probation, fined $1,000, ordered to perform 40 hours of community service.
That's tough. That's just a tough break.
Yeah. Like, of all the cities, he's like, man, I had some pussy in Milwaukee last night that was out of sight. Like, that wasn't no sting. Like,
that's how you can really tell these guys didn't used to be friends on opposing teams. Nowadays, it's hard to be like, hey, man, stay away from that club. I'm telling you. Just not today.
I can't call a 911 easy girl. Like, that. He go, Harden's like, man, come on. Hey, come out with me, man. I got you. We're not going to.
Yeah. Back then, Hakeem set up the sting. He was trying to get Magic. He was like, well, I got Worthy. That's good enough.
Yeah, listen, he probably still got Magic. Magic just know the ones to call.
Right.
Magic's like, why didn't you tell me? Yeah, that was no. What'd you say?
Magic's got just like 40 who just stuff their keys into his mailbox service at the hotel. He's like, I've never used a service. I don't even know if there's on.
That was November 14th. He did not play that night. Next night against Indiana, 21 points and 6 boards in 29 minutes. Just back on the.
When did they travel?
Shit, good question. It was a day in between those.
Okay.
Yeah. But
I was like, he got him sent to the room when they had to be in Indiana in like 3 hours.
We're the wild boy, man. And he only played. He played 21 to 32. But I remember, the Jordan rules. The night that happened, everybody in the locker room was like dying, and Jordan was pissed because that's his Carolina, that's his boy, and they were like, yeah, who knew Worthy always like the double team, and it was like Jordan was furious with that joke. It was like he was hot with like Bill Cartwright or somebody.
That's very funny. Very funny.
Like the one time you get one over on Joy, he can't do shit about it.
Yeah. He hasn't talked to Worthy since.
Like he legit quit talking to Barkley over shit he said over announcing.
Oh yeah.
Like I didn't know that was like for real, but yeah.
Jordan is not one to be light with the grudge.
I get that if he and Barkley weren't like friends, I would get it. But I thought they were like legit, and I think they were like legit friends. And I think that's why Barkley was like, well, I feel like I could say it. He said he didn't regret it. He's like, I'd say it again, so I don't. But yeah, if somebody small did that, yeah, like, oh yeah, Jordan hates LeBradford Smith. You know how that goes.
I'm told we do get some LeBradford.
I love a little LeBrad.
I hope if he's on ESPN, like if they got him for an interview, that means we're getting him for a full episode.
Yeah.
But I might have to reach out now.
I was gonna say, listen, even if he didn't, we should get him to have him tell his side of the story. Yeah.
Correct. Yeah, but you were lighting his ass up.
Yeah, talk about it, LeBradford. Then we get Jordan on here to defend himself.
Correct.
So it's the one thing that would get him to come on.
Yeah, yesterday, last night, Mariah was like, is Jordan like an all-time guest you want to get? I was just like, yeah, but also no, because I don't know what the fuck I'd ask that guy that he hasn't already been asked.
Nah, by the end of this, I'm gonna have a handful of questions. Something related to like
berets.
Something to berets. Something to that early '80s team, because that legit the traveling Coke circus had to been stitches. Like, yeah, he's peeling back a little bit of the onion. So when Kelly Martin gets Michael Jordan, as I've been asking her for literally like
years.
Literally like 3 years. So hello,
we're kidding every time. We're like, yeah, send an email.
I was saying, like, what a time to strike. You know, we just
clearly he'll do media.
Right. It's like, yeah, this Tuesday he's just on Mickstape, Michael Jordan episode. Yeah. He agreed to one episode, us, for some reason.
I've never heard of them.
Ask about Ficker. That's easy money.
Easy. I think that would get him actually mad, though.
That's what I'm fine with that. Because I'll say this, even when he's talking good, like Jordan, he describes things very well. I don't know how else to say it. Like describe like teammates, what they meant to him in that moment. Like I was trying to win the game in that moment. I was wired that way. And because for like 100 years, I was like, yeah, I don't think Michael Jordan has a talking voice. Like, I think I heard it once in like 97. Then he didn't appear again till like he bought the Hornets, or like from the Wizards to the Hornets thing. So yeah, he's coming off well. Who else is coming off well or bad? I think they say Burrell's about to come off really well in these next couple.
It's a staple in this program, so I imagine so.
Sure.
The one thing that always kills me about documentaries like this is the level of footage they have. Like, there was a point last night where they were inside the huddle and Phil is like teaching Michael Jordan how to pass.
Right. Yeah.
I was expecting him to say me, honestly. Right, yeah. Said someone else's name. I was like, who the fuck's that guy?
I think that was the point. Phil was a risky boy. He knew he had to roll those dice.
But the fact that they had not only just the camera in there, but like you could hear everyone.
Yeah.
Like, it's the finals. Like, and you could hear crystal clear with that 91 ass camera. Like, that was genuinely shocked. Because like, you think of, when I think of stuff like this too, I always try and think like, how did they go about making this documentary? Like, a lot of this footage, like Jordan dunking from the free throw line, not hard to get. Random foot, like there is times where he's talking to Rodman on the court, talking about like
switching over screens.
Yeah, and stuff like that. He's like, you go up top when they, who found that while they're making this? You know what I mean? Like, how well labeled is this shit that you can go back and find it?
I think that was because they had wanted to do it forever, and when they finally got the access, like they agreed to give them 100% full access to everything, so they were like, we're gonna record it. Like, this is Michael Jordan. Like, I'm sure there are hundreds of thousands out, but yeah. When I would listen to them talk about, I was like Jordan or Pippen and Rodman just talking defensive schemes. I would listen to that.
Oh yeah,
I'd watch a video on that.
Them talking about what they had for breakfast like 3 weeks ago.
I do think my favorite part last night was Jordan hitting the Cleveland shot. They got Michael, you stuck it. Yeah.
Best interview of all time.
Back to you guys in the studio.
He's like, I didn't think he'd stop. I didn't have anything else.
It is really wild, like, because like you could like people really like LeBron James now. I don't think anybody's in awe of him like that.
No,
like reporter wise. Mike, you stuck it. Yeah.
He went through so much effort for that.
Hey, but listen, he got an up close. He's like, I got a quote from Michael Jordan. I can tell my editor that
Job well done.
Yeah, no, listen, everybody should be more like Steve. Run on the court immediately after the game.
Michael.
Yeah.
He's like pushing Phil Jackson out of the way. He's
stuck it. Thoughts? Yeah. That was Tom Richards, CBS 46.
It was like the Cleveland affiliate. He's
Plains dealer. Yeah.
He's just like, wait a minute, I'm sad.
He had to be like the Windhorst. He was the guy that he was Chicago's. Now, I guess Sam Smith really was Jordan's Windhorst.
Yeah.
But yeah, they got access. They were like, we're gonna record it. Like, it's probably footage. Like, we've got hours and hours and hours of Michael Jordan tying his shoes before a game. But we just wanted to cover our bases.
He saw one time he said something. We didn't have the cameras rolling.
Yeah, just in case. He's tying him one time. He's like, you know what? Hitler was right. And it's like, why do we not have the camera? Why do we not? What do you mean the lens was? So I was like, every time, listen, if he takes a piss, you get every drop. We're recording everything.
Yeah, it's like that's where he got the idea for the mustache, and we just don't have that. Lost to history. But yeah, I want to see more team playing stuff, because I feel like even like the worst, like the Bobcats team that won 4 games, I feel like their team playing had some good moments.
I feel like it would have been the best team moments. I don't want to see the team playing for like a 38-44. I don't really want to see the Wizards team playing like 7-59.
Yeah,
please. I want to see who's like that's a level where it's like it's so bad. I don't know if we can be real life friends. Like you that like it ain't no beef, but at the same time, don't sit next to me on the I'm not trying to play no cards with you.
Yeah, you cannot have my phone number.
You lost by 80 points again. Like I'm just trying to check.
Third overall pick this year. I cannot do this.
Yeah. Like I've lost 4 times since I was born.
We lost 4 this week.
I'll say this randomly. I don't think MKG gets enough, not even credit for that. I don't think that gets factored in with him. That he went straight. Yeah, like that. He went straight into an organization, was like tank, didn't get their guy. And I was like, oh, well, here's this guy. There wasn't really anything like invested in him. He didn't really get any help. And he'd also like never lost. And it's like, boy, oh boy, we really do just suck. Huh? How about that?
This is awesome.
Christ, yeah. The good thing is they got me for the first 5 years and also control for the next up to 4 after that. So
everything coming up, Kid Gilchrist.
Yeah, it's the MKG show.
So next week, I've seen it. Like I saw fights last night because he's a big dumb idiot, being like, he's like Rodman's back on the Pistons. I was like, no, he sure isn't. So I guess there are some people who are struggling with the timeline in which they're telling this.
Yeah, I think that's fair. It's one of those I don't think about it because I know it. Yeah, but if I didn't, I get it. I can see how that would be unclear.
I guess he looks completely different, and so does like the film quality in both.
respect to Johnny Feidelberg. He's white and Rodman's black. You know what I mean? He kind of just like, listen, he was wearing 10, man. I don't. He was wearing 92, man. I don't know. He had the yellow hair, man. What do you?
I didn't know that we talked about this earlier. I didn't know the 33s were in his hair for Pippen. Yeah. I thought they were just cheetah print.
Yeah, that was dope.
I saw Rodman's shoes getting a lot of love last night. Like Nike needs to retro those.
I think we're all right.
All right.
They were fine, but they're gonna bring back the Converse ones too with the star on the side. Or how far are we going?
I'm pretty sure they have those. Yeah.
Probably.
I'm trying to think if anything else. Next week it looks like it's the Dream Team, so there's more reason to shit on Isaiah.
Yeah, Dream Team and Kobe. I don't know where.
Yeah, I don't know where. Like I saw that they teased that, but I don't know where he folds into the Dream Team.
I was like, it's got to be 6. I'm guessing. I don't know because like in 3 and 4, they really did tell about a decade. Like Rodman's run was about like into the 80s. Yeah. So if they through 5 and 6 get through like Dream Team and Kobe coming into the league, it's like, okay, I can see that.
Is that like is that relevant to the 98 Bulls?
We're gonna find out.
Yeah.
Oh, I guess like if you're talking about like all of it, I could see like the competitor stuff or like challengers. Like I didn't like this kid he was good, but he was 19. Like I'm Michael Jordan right now. Like
yeah, because as all time as Kobe is, it wasn't like he didn't enter the draft like LeBron in 03. You know what I mean? Like people knew him, and even more so in the basketball world, but it wasn't this national hysteria like, oh my God, this kid's in the draft.
No, it was a thing where, and I do remember this at the time, everybody who had like seen him, legit seen him, was like, this kid's going to be great.
Right.
But it was like, again, there was just not that much information about high schoolers out there at the time.
If he came up,
available, yeah.
Right. Yeah, I was trying to think if he came up in the mixtape era. Like his would look so different than it, like just the way he plays. Like he'd have dunks, of course, but like jab steps, like fadeaway. Like, what is this?
He'd have a whole like 7 minutes set to that Draft Express violin on just like footwork, post footwork. He's like, yeah, no, this kid is in 11th grade. Like it's terrifying.
He speaks 3 languages.
Yeah, like they said, Kobe used to like run his teammates into walls and like races. I was like, yeah, he probably don't need to be in the mixtape era. That'd be on there too.
I was also thinking, like, completely, just because you brought up that music, I really respect how the NFL draft still uses like the Chris Berman highlight music.
Yeah, no, when you strike gold.
Yeah, no, it's quite the tune. But hearing that for 260, however many picks, I didn't get sick of it once. Like that's a classic instrumental.
I kind of want Roger Goodell to host more things now.
Do you?
Everything. Just host it. Supermarket Suite with Roger Goodell. Chopped. Roger Goodell's the host. I would just watch that. Yeah. Come on, San Francisco. Yeah.
You can do better than that.
Yeah, it's like half cheer. Like we're supposed to cheer or boo. I can't see the card. Like it's like, yeah, that's right. With the 4th pick.
I've eaten some M&Ms.
Did
we get that noise this year?
I feel like I heard it. I didn't realize that there were 2 different broadcasts. There really was the Sappy broadcast and the football broadcast.
Was the Sappy one ABC?
Yep.
Yeah, I could see that.
I was like, I didn't like because I kept seeing people saying like Booger and stuff was talking about it. I thought they were doing like post like announce like. Right. I didn't think they were doing live coverage. I thought it was only the one. So I was like, yeah, I got the sad shit bag. But then I was like, wait a minute, why does that exist? Why is this marketed to people? Like what? Russillo and Simmons talked about it some like those pieces on like College Game Day do really well. People stop.
Yeah, they do.
So it's like I get it, but it's because it's like 9 minutes of a 2-hour show, not because every minute of a 3-day show.
I don't want to say to their credit, but I do remember that last year too. They were like they were trying to have like a broader appeal one that wasn't as deep into football as much, which I can understand, especially if like you don't know, like if you never watch college football, you have no idea about these kids. Like saying someone from Baylor, like that's not going to do anything for you. Right. So I do get it, but based on how they decided to handle it this year, don't get it.
Well, the thing is, you remember it, like I would remember a kid is from Baylor. It's like, oh yeah, I remember him. You know, he lost his parents or something like that. When you give me 250 people that lost their parents, like, like not to make light of it, but I was legit like I can't like between like Chenault, Gross Motto. It's like I'm getting the stories like.
There's some wild stories.
Yeah, it was like, oh, okay, yeah, no, I remember him from. It's like guys from they do those stories like 12 years ago, and it's like, nope, still remember that guy. Now it's like, I don't. It's just very disappointing to me, disheartening that there's a broadcast for like because that a lot of rich people would watch that and was like, oh, that is
yeah, we've done something here today.
Yeah. Like, wow, these guys are millionaires. No thanks to my doing. I feel good.
Did you see Chris getting into it with Neil Brennan?
No. About what? It could be literally anything.
It was coronavirus.
Oh god. Is Neil a truther?
No, Neil just tweeted out a video that was just like people are disproportionately getting treated for this. Did Chris delete it? He did, that coward.
They might have blocked him till he deleted, forced his hand.
Yeah, Chris tweeted it was basically like Neil tweeted a video that was just like Chappelle was in it, some other people were in it, and it was just like let's put racism on pause was kind of the message of it.
Sure.
And Chris was like, with all due respect, a millionaire should shut the fuck up right now.
Not wrong. Brennan took offense to this?
Well, yeah. Brennan was like, you're right, man. You shouldn't give black folks COVID tests when they need them. I'm sorry I said anything. And then Chris was like, I had this shit. And then Neil was like, there's no referencing to quarantining in the video. It's an anti-racism video. No mention of class or money. I don't know what Chris said after that. And Neil said, I don't doubt that it's nauseating to see rich people talk about what you should be doing, but I promise it's from a decent place. There are no good options available for anyone in this. Damned if you do, damned if you don't. Yeah, and he had said something earlier too, like if I don't say anything, people are like, well, aren't you using your platform? When I do say something, people are like, you should be using your platform better.
Right. Yeah. Why are you stop talking? Yeah. So I guess he's not wrong there. Yeah.
I guess Chris was just like
both sides.
Yeah.
Chris is particularly fed up today.
I can see that. He almost got taken down by a Little Caesars deep dish.
Who?
Chris.
What the hell did I miss with Chris?
He's had quite a day. He was like, no one told me how daunting a task it was to try and eat one of these bad boys.
Hey, them shit's heavy, man.
Oh yeah, no one told him.
Yeah, well, that's on me. No, I feel I preached that word years ago. Once I found out Little Caesars deep dish is not bad. And the Italian, the crazy bread, that's fire. Little Caesars get a bad rap. It is what it is.
Well, when you start naming things crazy bread,
they got Italian crazy bread, so it's just a plumber. The bread is just a plumber. With his brother, his slender brother.
His Vindog. Tyler, as many people know, we are a big cereal podcast.
Sure.
It took me everything in my willpower to not ask the person we interviewed today about cereal.
You show some real restraint.
I did. I'm just looking for some credit. I'm glad I received it.
Yes.
During everything that's happening right now, I am legitimately trying to cut down on the carbs and the sugar and the unhealthy food and whatnot because I'm just eating all day. So I figured I might as well try to not make it garbage every time.
Sure.
And that's hard because all of the delicious things in this world are typically bad for you.
Especially cereal, man. Like even more so.
Until now.
Huh?
That's right.
So you put an apple on a pizza, it'll make it healthy, but you're talking about healthy cereal, so I don't know about that.
I don't even want to give it, because people hear healthy cereal, they're like,
yeah, that's right. It is a cereal that's better for you.
This is a good cereal, good for you, and it tastes delightful. That's a fact. I'm going to get the boxes since we have video right now. I want to show the fine people what they look like.
Okay.
Because it deserves that.
I agree. This is one I did not know was coming. Those are my favorite of our friends. I just have a large box at my door. I assume it's a bomb initially. It was not a bomb. It was 4 boxes of cereal. I haven't tried them all yet. I tried the Frosted, which are very good. Frosted O's are very good. The McMahon's dead. Chocolate ones aren't bad. What else is up there? I've been going back to the Frosted O's. Honestly, I haven't even opened all.
I've only tried the Frosted so far.
You say you only tried which ones?
Frosted so far.
Same. That's what I said. Like I keep going back. I haven't even opened the rest of the boxes yet.
Big fan. On the back too. Do you ever wonder why you grew up but your cereal didn't? Every day, Magic Spoon. Magic Spoon reimagines the same sweet deliciousness of your favorite childhood cereal with premium ingredients, complete protein, no gluten or grains. This box contains more protein than a dozen eggs and fewer net carbs than a typical fruit smoothie, but it's so much more fun to eat.
I agree with that.
So that's the Frosted.
Yeah, the boxes are sick too.
And Magic Spoon's such a strong name.
It is. Like they put work into the name. They put work into the boxes. Like it's a guy. He's riding an octopus. They're having a blast. Which cereal is that? Which flavor?
Blueberry.
Oh yeah. Okay.
I don't know why the octopus is holding the spoon. Maybe they're fighting over a box.
I think they're pals. I think he's feeding it to him.
Okay. All right.
He said Magic Spoon is so good. Like, trust me, dude.
Let's see. This is the fruity.
Okay, I think those are chocolate are next to me. I haven't decided.
Yeah,
blueberry. I haven't decided.
I think this chocolate, because we've talked about chocolate before, and it's very hit or miss. I think this is going to be a hit.
I agree. If they're like the Frosted Cheer, if I can trust them from the Frosted O's, excuse me, then I agree.
Yeah, I just feel like if you're going to launch with 4 and you're going to make Cocoa one of them, they know they had to stick.
Yeah. I do like that. It's like, here, listen, whatever you like, listen, we got something for you in this box. So far, we're 1 for 1.
Which is tough enough. It's tough to break into the cereal game.
Especially my palate. Are you kidding me?
Correct.
Trying to get a space on my refrigerator. Payola for years. I don't accept it. So for Magic Spoon to really get up there, they did it the right way.
0 sugars, 12 grams of protein, only 3 net grams of carbs in each serving. 4 flavors again: cocoa, fruity, frosted, blueberry. It tastes amazing. It's too good to be true. It's keto friendly, gluten free, grain free, soy free, low carb, and GMO free. Go to magicspoon.com/tape to grab a variety pack and try it today. Be sure to use our promo code TAPE at checkout to get free shipping. Magic Spoon is so confident in their product, it's backed with a 100% happiness guarantee. So if you don't like it for any reason, they'll refund you your money. No questions asked. That's magicspoon.com/tape. Use the code TAPE for free shipping. We thank Magic Spoon for sponsoring this podcast.
Absolutely.
Tyler's dead.
Yes.
You hate to see it. Right after he found all his CDs. Wednesday we'll be back with another mixtape live.
Yeah.
And then Friday. So we're back Tuesday, Friday, as per usual. And enjoy close personal friend, Vanderbilt head coach, Jerry Stackhouse.
Noted crooner, Jerry Stackhouse.
That's right.
Okay, we're here with Jerry Stackhouse, the head coach of Vanderbilt University. First things first, thank you for joining us. How are you, Jerry?
Man, I'm doing great, man. Just trying to manage these crazy times.
Yeah. Now, I do have to warn you, I'm a Kentucky fan, so the first thing I have to ask you is, what are you going to do about that terrible Vanderbilt court? I don't like that whole setup. What are you guys going to do about that?
Well, I mean, we just got to agree to disagree on that one. We kind of like our vibe. It's a little different.
It's a lot of different.
But I can understand if you if you don't really vibe with that, coming from the Big Blue, it's all good.
Oh yeah, it's just
they have the raised court, don't they?
Yeah, it's kind of sit down like a theater.
Yeah.
The seating is below the court. The fan section is a little different than it is in other arenas, but it has a mystique to it. Our fans like it, and it's a little different with the benches being at the end,
right.
Unlike anywhere else that I've ever played or been. But again, it doesn't really affect us because we're still able to come up the sidelines and be, and acknowledge the coach's box. So it's cool.
Yeah, that's the point. It's affected us. We've had some bad losses in that building. I don't like it very
much. we got to bring that back.
No. You can keep it right where it is.
Yeah.
What was it like having the season end so abruptly? Like what has it been like talking to your players, talking to recruits you have coming in next year? How has it been managing everything we're all going through right now?
I mean, it's obviously it's different, man. Everything is virtual now. All the recruiting, you have to do everything online. Zoom has been extremely popular and useful. But it was tough, just abruptly stopping everything at the end of the season because, even though we lost the last game actually of the SEC tournament, we still felt like we were on the uptick and things were, starting to build for us. So we were excited about our offseason as well, not only just getting back into the strength and conditioning piece of it, getting back, our guys getting a little bit stronger, but being able to do individual workouts, all those type of things were has just, come to a halt, and everybody's doing everything on their own right now. And hopefully our guys are being responsible and being accountable and still working on their games, working on their bodies, so we can, once we, get back, we'll eventually act that, we're that's the key.
Do you feel like that benefits you as you're one of the younger coaches in the SEC and college basketball, really like the virtual aspect of it?
Well, I think it's, for us, it's tough because we like to get the kids on campus, right? We want to be able to, official visits. We had a couple official visits set up for kids that had been recruiting throughout the year and finally was waiting for their season was over and our season was over to be able to get them on campus, and then they were able to, come on campus.
Right.
So, showing them over slides and different things like that is, still effective, but it's not as effective as being on there, getting the feel, being able to interact with other students on campus. It's, just seeing what it's like in the spring here, as well as, other times during the year.
Mm-hmm.
When was it in your career? Because I know after you were done playing, you were doing some TV work, a little bit of analyst work. When was it you were like in your lifetime career, did you know I want to go into coaching?
Well, I don't know if I knew that until I was maybe still playing. I always kind of was, I was a coach, within the team because, being a better player on the team and, having to understand the offense, understand everything we wanted to do defensively. Just, and I had coaches that always, were good at plays, whether it was a Rick Carlisle or a Doug Collins. So I had understand the nuances of how offense worked. And then toward when I got with Avery Johnson in Dallas, it was similar to a lot of the things that we did back in North Carolina as far as defensively, and just so it was good to kind of be back in that element. And he gave me, I was older, I was probably one of the older players on the team, and he gave me a lot of reign to be able to have a voice with the team. So that stack, they're just tired of hearing my voice sometimes, run the film session or do different things like that. So, and I think, from that standpoint, I was like, okay, I know the game. I enjoyed, teaching it. And then I had my AAU program. My son was playing like 7th and 8th grade. And I went to a game, and you know what I'm saying, they were just all over the place, man. It was just some ragtag basketball. And I'm like, yo,
AAU, are you sure?
This doesn't sound like AAU, Jerry.
Man, I can't watch this. I mean, I think I can help this situation a little bit. So I had a little bit of time on off season. So I, you know, started that team with those kids, and you know, watched them get better really quickly. And I think from that, you know, I kind of really got the bug of being able to share what I know and watch other kids get better from, you know, obviously, you know, my mistakes, you know, don't do the same thing, do as I say, not as I did. They go back and watch, you know, watch my film and like, yo, man, you let him get middle. Don't do as I did.
Well, I did this. This is a teaching moment, moment.
Yeah.
I got to say, you're a Washington Redskins fan. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Why?
Hey, man, I guess, you know, obviously just geographically, man, you know, North Carolina, before we had the Panthers, right, that was kind of the team. You know, it was either that was the closest geographically for us, was the Redskins. From my brothers, 2 or 3 of my brothers, once they graduated from college, they moved up to the DC area. So we just always spent a lot of time in the DMV. So the Redskins, because they were Redskins fans, I guess I just kind of got it by default. And, you know, obviously, I grew up a couple of times, and it's crazy being a Redskin fan that I say I am now, but I love some of those Dallas Cowboy teams, right? And that's like,
oh, boy.
Mention those 2 words in the same, but when Tony Dorsett was kind of my guy, you know, when I was younger. But then I just, again, like I said, I followed my brothers with the Redskins.
Do your brothers know you're saying this, that you love some of those Cowboys teams?
Hey, man, don't tell them, bro.
It's between us 3, man.
Make sure you edit that piece out for me.
Hey, mom's the word.
Going back to the recruiting aspect, but when going back to when you were that top recruit coming out of high school, we just saw last week the current #1 player in the country say he's going to the G League. Jalen Green. Mm-hmm. Is that something that you would have considered had it been presented to you, or were you always, since you're a North Carolina guy, like, no, I'm just going to UNC. I'm gonna follow what the state does?
Man, no. I mean, I think my initial thought was, you know, coming out of college, the earliest that I was come out would be, you know, after my junior year, right? You know, Michael Jordan came out after his junior year. I actually come out at the earliest after my junior year. So I mean, I don't think there was really any, you know, thought of like going straight from high school to college at that time. You know, it was about like college basketball was it. You know, you wanted to, you know, I followed it, and I was a big fan of, you know, college basketball, the ACC, the Big East. You know, I was catching all those games, and one week I'm going to Georgetown, right? I love John Thompson and what he's doing. Next week it was, you know, I was going to Duke, you know, and then it was, you know, North Carolina. Ultimately, it came once I went to Oak Hill for that senior year, you know, and now my family not being able to get to the games as frequently as I would like and they would like. I was like, man, it probably makes sense for me to go back home. And then it really came down to like North Carolina State, and, you know, Dean Smith, you know, again, the track record that they had with their players going to the pros just made a lot of sense for me. So I wound up staying closer to home. But I really can't say that, you know, I would have thought about going to the pro. It just wasn't in my mindset at that time, even though, again, like just a year later, I wound up going to the pro. Like I said, I didn't anticipate even leaving as a sophomore, but it presented itself. So to say that I wouldn't, if that would have been presented to me at the time, you know, I just can't answer that, you know, honestly right now.
Who committed first, you or Rashid?
I did. You know, Rashid
and was, were you just like, hey, come with me?
You did the recruiting?
No, we were like, we knew that they were on Rashid big. Again, it was like, man, crazy thing. Like with North Carolina, I don't even know if because we were like, they hadn't won a championship in a long time, right? I think the last championship was '83 with Michael. And so it was like, I was ready to try to come and help them get over the hump. You know, it's like, man, let's go back and have me. And then they win it that year. so it was like, you know, I was like, man. But I mean, I was still committed to North Carolina, but I don't know if I'd have known that at the time, I might have done something different, you know, honestly, just because it just felt like they had kind of gotten over the hump that we were feeling like we were coming in to help them get over. But it was the Rasheed came with me and Jeff McInnes. We played together at Oak Hill. So I mean, I really enjoyed playing with him as a point guard. So it was like it was seamless coming in with us three that freshman year. We were like, we were always together. We were, lived together in the dorms. It was always the freshman. And that's just kind of how it is in North Carolina that year. It's a tough year. You got to carry the bags. You got to do all those things. You get water last, and once you finally do get to the water cooler, you're only there probably about 10 seconds before coach is calling you. Everybody get back on the court. So, but it builds some discipline, man, and kind of break you down to build you back up. But after that process, then it's the sky's the limit.
So is you, Rasheed, and Jeff McInnes in the same dorm?
Yes.
I know you got stories coming out of that. What was that dorm room like?
My lips are sealed, bro.
Come on.
Give us one. Give us one.
What's the most PG-13 one?
One you can share.
Honor amongst thieves, man. Honor amongst thieves.
I can respect that.
Yeah, fair
I can
enough.
respect. Let me ask you, as a coach, what do you think about like guys having that option to go to the G League, to go overseas for a year? But what do you just think of that option in general?
No, I mean, I think it's a great option for guys, man. Not everybody's built for college, right?
Right.
And I think, coming in is doing these kids a disservice. A lot of them coming in for 1 year, and whether they have great success or not, where does it leave your program in a year? And I'm not saying that we're against one and dones, but I just don't think it's the best fit for us. I mean, being an academic university, what it takes to get here, the type of student, the commitment that that you've had to take, and the responsibility that you had to take up to this point just to be able to come to this school, and you're going to leave that in a year. So it's not right fit, and we kind of want to separate ourselves a little bit. It's a little bit tougher. I can't just walk into any gym and say, okay, man, I love his game. He fits into what. No, we got to check his test score. We got to get his transcript. We got to get those things. So I think for us, it's a little bit different. But for these kids in general, I think it's a great avenue to be able to have different options. Again, not schooling for everyone. If you don't feel like I want to really go to college and work toward a degree to try to better myself, and I could do something. I know my path is to play at the next level at the NBA, and I could do something there to really enhance my game and help my transition be a little more seamless. Why wouldn't I do that, right? And I can get paid for it. And I think that was, that's a pretty lucrative deal that the kid was able to secure, through the G League. And I think, being in a great city, being in LA, I just think there's a lot of creative ways that they could play this. I mean, I think that salary could possibly be a part of their first year's salary, right? Saying, for the team. So because we're all in business together, it can make it a little bit more lucrative, and all, you get these undergraduate, advisors that give these guys that's coming out in the draft where potentially you get drafted. That's a pretty good group that's giving feedback to those same numbers of telling guys where they're slotted, could help and say, okay, if you were slotted, 1 to 15, you get this amount. If you slotted 15 to 30, you get this amount. 30 to 45, if you decide to come this route, that's where you would be slotted, and that's where your pay scale, and possibly could even get paid your rookie year, right? Obviously, you get money now to survive, but it would be deducted from where you get drafted. And if you don't get drafted, we just have to eat it. You know what I'm saying? So I just sit back and think about little creative things like that because I've been on both sides of it, with our players union, and now that those players, the G League players, are going to get some representation, it's going to be, kind of funny to see how that works too. Are they going to represent these group of, high school athletes? I guess because they're in the G League now, they're going to have to fall under that representation, which I think would be good.
Now, since you have history in the G League as a coach, talk about the developmental process you had with Toronto that you instilled in guys that you see now playing out with the Raptors.
I mean, I just think, man, development is a huge part of all of our game. You know, all these guys, they're not finished products yet. You see the best players in the game, they still had to come into the league and learn the league, learn how to work. Probably never worked at the level that they had before. I mean, they thought they was working in high school, they thought they were working in college, but now it's these guys' livelihood, you know, so you can't come in and it be something that you treat as something, a novelty, right? You got to come in with the passion of saying, okay, I got to outwork people because this is what I want to do for a living. So I think just from that standpoint, you got to make sure that you're ready to work.
So your older brother played in the NBA, correct?
Yes.
How old were you before you beat him one-on-one? And if you haven't beat him yet, I mean, that's fine too.
We had to stop playing, man. We would get into fights, boy. It got bad.
You? No.
Come on.
No, man. No, it was bad, but because he was such a competitor and he was a great scorer. And I was young and spry and, quick off the dribble and all that. So it got pretty testy. So we just kind of made sure that we were on the other team. I mean, on the same team and played other teams 2-on-2 or 5-on-5 or whatever. But now we were super competitive. But nah, man, we had some battles growing up for sure.
Now, are some of your players, are they aware of, your history, like a Kirk Snyder or Christian Laettner? Are they aware of that? Like, hey, man, listen to what Coach says, man. He really not the one to try.
To try.
Yeah. Man, yeah. No, I think, you can chalk that up to being young and dumb, and hopefully we all mature. We have those moments. But, man, I think it's, it's good. We know who we are. I mean, I think our guys, they got YouTube or whatnot. I'm pretty sure they've Googled me and seen some things that I'm not that proud of. But at the same time, I think it's all comes from being competitive, man. And that's what we're trying to breed. Like, it's nothing personal. It's not one kid, one guy that I've ever gotten into with it where it's like, I hate that guy. It was all stemming from something competitive. And hopefully, that's, those are the type of guys that I want to win. I want my team to win. I want to beat you, knowing that if those guys on the other team, if they had an opportunity and the choice to say, okay, this is going to happen for me or it's going to happen for you, they're going to say it's going to happen for me. So we got to have that same mentality. But back to your point, man, about the player development, we got off of that a little bit, but I think it's huge. That's part of the development, right? Developing competitiveness, right? That I want to win. And I think, through that process, I was able to work with, these guys that just, Pascal Siakam, Fred VanVleet, Norm Powell. Those were my guys. Those are guys that were sent down during the G League, part of the development for them. And they came down with the approach of working, right? Those weren't those guys that were holding their head down because they were sent down to the G League. They came down to show, I ain't got no business here, right? I belong back up with the big club. And I think that was the way we approached it. We taught them how to play, to still come share the ball, do what we need to do defensively because we were, interlocked in how we wanted to approach things for that organization. So I think that's where it starts, man, just being able to have a plan, right? Not coming in willy-nilly, but really having a plan of what guys' weaknesses are, what their strengths are, and charting those things so they can see the improvement and hopefully over the course of time, you start to see a gradual, improvement over that time.
Now you talk about developing competitiveness, which I think is interesting because you look at a guy like an Andrew Wiggins, and that appears to be the biggest knock on him. Like he doesn't always want to be there. And Anthony Edwards coming out of Georgia, it's like, does he always he floats a little bit? Do you think competitiveness is something that's inside of you, or do you think it's something that you can kind of develop and draw out of a player?
Yeah, I think you can. I think it's, some guys just have it, right? Some guys are, for whatever, their background growing up, things that they did, at the park. Some of it is in you, but I think it can be taught at the same time, through your work, come in and being, diligent, and being steady, being consistent every day, coming in with that mindset. And once you just build, there's going to be a habit where probably those guys that it's not really in them, they're going to want to quit, right? They're going to want to stop. but we're not going to stop. You know what I'm saying? Right. Even though we might, you know, we're going to keep doing it. We're going to do it over and over and over. The monotony of it, the redundancy of it is what makes you good and makes you, you know, when it comes to the game, it's second nature. So I think that process of doing things like that every day and having people around you do that every day, yeah, you can build that competitiveness enough. Maybe not to, you know, to the level of a guy that just, you know what I'm saying, you know, just got it in his heart and breathing. And you see those guys, right? You know what I'm saying? They're going to get up in you. They're going to fight you and claw for everything. But I think, again, having proper technique and the reps, you know, that you can get guys to compete at a level other than what they just, you know, have, you know, their innate ability.
What would Coach Stack tell rookie year Stackhouse? What would be the first thing you coached yourself up on?
Man, I just was, if I knew what I knew now, right? Like just again, those reps every day of getting in with, you know, after practice, working on your ball handling, doing all the things that, you know, that you just don't have enough of. Again, I'm coming, you know, playing power forward in North Carolina. I pretty much played a forward in high school and in college, right? I never really was a guard. I never had to handle like that and play in pick and rolls until I was in the pros. So those are things that I kind of learned on the fly, right? And I thought I did it at a level to where I became an all-star at it. But I didn't start when I was 9 years old as a point guard, right? There were guys that were 5'11", and all of a sudden they jump up to 6'6", right? I was taller for my size, so I was kind of thrown under the basket as we, you know, as kids were at that time. If you were 6'5", you thought you were going to be a center, right?
I hated that. I hated it so much.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So now it's like we try to ward against that with kids now. You know, probably some of those big kids need to be under the basket a little more than they're venturing out to the three. But I think it's a happy medium there, right? You still have to get those kids that are 6'5" early, still teach them ball handling skills. So I think those are the things that I would tell myself to, you know, to work on more. You know, I got better as a shooter just because of reps. Like I probably had going into college, I might have had 1,000, you know, 1,500 reps going into the pros. And then they say what mastery is 10,000. So I got 8,500 more reps that I got to put in to get to where I eventually got them, right? Just, you know, time, shot after shot, repetition, doing things to where I became, you know, more than an average shooter. But I had to work to get to that point. So I say those were the things that I probably would have focused on a little bit more, and you know, that first year.
Now you came into, like, as you were playing, the mid-range shot was like king. You said you played forward. There was a lot of 2-point shots. So you've really got to see the development into like this 3-point crazy world. How do you balance that as a coach?
Man, I love the three, right? You know, and like I said, my game that I played, you know, for 18 years in the NBA, I would have hated my game. So man, stop interrupting the offense to try to post up off the block. You know what I'm saying? That's what we did. You know, at the time we played on that low block. That was, again,
that was the style of play.
The man's ball. Yeah, we got it.
Yeah, really. Yeah.
Drop it in, man. I side out of bounce. Drop 2, drop 3. You know, everybody else spaced out above the free throw line. You used to have, like, it was a legal defense to where if you weren't above the free throw line. So I mean, it's like it's just a different game. So you had room to step off and ISO and do all those type of things. But now it's just, you know, the game has changed. More freedom of movement. You know, want more offense. And, you know, it's like I don't discourage the 2-point shots, right? Again, like I said, I think there's a time and place for everything. Like if you get you're a great shooter, they run you off the line and there's only 3 or 4 seconds on the shot clock, or I say even less than that, because, you know, you get a 1 dribble pull up. But I say if there's 8 seconds on the shot clock, let's put a little more pressure on the basket again. You know what I'm saying? Get into the paint again, either get a really high percentage shot at the rim, or we might could spray again and get more bang for our buck. So, you know, and analytics play a large part into how I look at the game more now as a coach, right? You know, you were probably telling me this as a player, man. I'm like, come on, you know, my strength is getting to this free throw line and posting up, getting to this block, you know, a little bit off the block and posting up, and you know, doing whatever I can if they, you know, play me so the pull up game. So I think, you know, it's just a different game right now, but different errors. But I loved all errors. I mean, I was fortunate enough to catch those, you know, the early 90s, you know, the 2000s, and then see the game kind of transition to where it is now of, you know, pretty much 3-and-D, you know, where you want to utilize the three, get to the paint, and stay away from the long range twos. You know, not everybody subscribes to that theory, but I think, you know, when you really start looking at it, that, those shots just seem like they ignite the, you know, transition.
Right.
Because, you know, as you're driving the ball and you have people on the weak side that you're trying to move to different spots, if they're trying to move to those spots, you know, thinking that they're going to be a bailout for you, and you take a quick pull up, they're still getting there. Ball careens off. You know what I'm saying?
The races.
Like the floor balance. Yeah, the floor balance in there. So I think if you get to the paint a little bit more, put a little bit more pressure on the rim, it gives everybody a time to have, you know, defensive balance. So it's important in what we do.
Is it hard right now scouting like high school seniors who all think they're Steph Curry regardless of position?
Well, no, I mean, I think there's, you know, still shooting the basketball is at a premium. I mean, the guys that can make it at a real clip, right? I mean, those are still special talent. Not just because everybody's shooting the three right now, that doesn't mean that they're making the three.
Right, that's what I mean.
Yeah. So I mean, I think, you know, just, you know, the reality of it, man. Sometimes you just got to ask yourself, man, why am I open? You know what I'm saying? I'm open for a reason, right? You know, probably because they're trying to bait me into taking this shot. Man, can I have the discipline to turn down this to get us what we really want, understanding our personnel and all those type of things? Those are the candid conversations that I like to have with my guys. You know what I'm saying? Again, some guy, you're going to get missed sometimes, right? Standing in the corners, guys going to miss you. Am I going to, you know, hold my hand up and, you know, and be exasperated because the guy missed me? No, you're going to miss him too. Get back, right? So I think those are, you know, just as much as you teach the game, you teach etiquette, right? You teach how to be a good teammate, how to do things, because it happens. And then at the same time, the guy with the ball, man, come on. If you did your job, you got there, his man was on you, pass him the ball, right? If his man's not on you, go and finish. So I think it's, you know, but it goes both ways, and we try to make sure that we teach those principles. It's the ones that I've learned that contribute to winning, man. Being able to share the ball, move it, make the extra pass. You know, it's a fun way to play. Everybody gets to touch it a little bit, and the ball is still going to gravitate to the guys that are really supposed to have it.
A couple more questions. We'll get you out of here. I do want to know, who's the most famous person from your hometown of Kinston, North Carolina? Y'all got it's a pretty good roster. Like Coley mentioned Andrew Wiggins, his father, Mitchell Wiggins, is from there. Dwight Smith of the Catchers from there. Brandon Ingram from there. Cornbread Maxwell, Reggie Bullock, Tyrone Willingham, yourself, Jamie Presley. So who's the most famous person from Kinston?
I don't know. I mean, I guess if you're just going by today's standards with followers, I'd probably say Brandon is probably the most famous, right? You know? But again, if we was
you guys all go back to your hometown. Who's everyone the most excited?
Whose name is on the sign?
I think I fit the bill when you
talk
about North Carolina. Yeah, my name comes up the most, you know, because of just the longevity, I think. But we have a number of great players. I mean, you know, Cedric Maxwell, you know, he was the guy that we kind of looked up. He played alongside my brother. So, you know, for him to go off and do what he did with Boston, you know, he was a hometown hero. The fact that I went to North Carolina, that was huge for, you know, my city being a city of North Carolina. But, you know, Reggie Bullock, you know, those kids that had, you know, followed me now have another recruit from Kinston that just committed to North Carolina. Okay. So we got a good little track record from our city and going to UNC. But I think, you know, not tooting my own horn, man, but I think
no, go right ahead. Go right ahead.
Toot away.
When you speak at a K, they know who's what.
So it said, "Welcome to Kinston, home of Jerry Stackhouse." That's what the sign said.
Home of Jerry Stackhouse, absolutely.
What? So did you grow up like a borderline Celtics fan because of Maxwell, or no?
Yeah, I mean, who I was really loved on, Cedric because he's from Kinston, but man, Mikhail.
Wow,
really? Again, like I said,
you were a big guy.
Yeah, that's why you thought you were power forward.
Yeah.
Okay. Those were the guys. I mean, him and Worthy was my guys. Like, right? Everybody was MJ, and like I said, rightfully so. But for me, my game and how I want to, play with my back to the basket and make quick moves to the basket and up and under and drop steps. Man, Kevin McHale was that dude, and Worthy with that quick baseline spin. So I think those are the guys that I patterned a lot of my post stuff for.
That's amazing. Yeah, McHale might have like the deepest bag ever when it comes to post moves. He had everything.
Yeah, and then at the same time, like I said, it was hard not to be like Lakers and Showtime, right?
Yeah.
So it's like, because we got a hometown guy there, but man, Magic and Showtime.
Well, this Magic guy's pretty good, right?
Hey, so it was, obviously, and like I said, we weren't mad that the Celtics won, but I was disappointed that the Lakers lost. When the Celtics did beat them.
Well, too bad, Stackhouse. One interesting thing, just looking at your career before we hopped on here, Dirk, while you were teammates, scored 15,000 points the game before you scored 15,000 points. Was that something you guys knew of at the time? Were you furious at him? Did he not bring you a plate of his wife's cooking because of it? Like, what happened during that 1 week stretch?
Oh man, it was just ironic that the timing of that happened. Just our paths crossed, man. He's one of the best players that I've ever played for. One of the best shooters I ever played for, competitors. But it just happened, man. It was a fun time. And just milestones like that. Not a lot of people get to that point, man. I was just telling somebody the other day. I mean, I was for a long time. I was right, 85, 86, on the all-time scoring list. Of all the people that have played in the league, only 84 people had scored more points than me at the end of my career. Obviously, some guys have surpassed it now, and I'm number 101. But again, still only 100 people in the history of the game. So, it's amazing, man, to look back and see how blessed I've been to be able to do what I love to do. And man, it's been a hell of a ride just to be able to do that and then continue to transition into giving back to these kids and watching them get better, watch them have dreams of, going to that next level, helping them with that process, Aaron Naismith and, saving those guys, declare for the draft. And so it's our responsibility to try to help them, make the right choices, whether it's, the great fit for an agent, a great fit for a financial advisor. If they have medical things, trying to push them in the right directions that they need to go. So fortunately, I kind of have a blueprint of what that looks like, and I'm more than willing to share.
And last question I have for you: what are those jerseys you have behind you?
Yeah.
The 15? Who's the Stackhouse guy?
No, this is kind of symbolic because it was like my, and not taking away my grassroots coaching, which I felt was very valuable in my process, and the fact that I played for 18 years. It wasn't like I was a rookie coach, but technically this was my first year as a professional coach when I was an assistant with the Toronto Raptors, and they gave all of us a jersey for the year that you start, and this is Jackie Robinson.
Oh wow!
Okay.
Yeah, Jackie Robinson. That's why I wear that for too. And this was his Montreal jersey.
Wow. Is that game worn now? You just throw that in casually? Yeah, I see that. I see that tag.
Yeah, man. A friend of mine that for the G League, one of our biggest supporters, our fan named Corey Smith. He got this for me as a gift. I was like, so he was right before I left. He said, I got to get you this, and I made sure that I put it up. It's authentic, Jackie Robinson jersey.
Be a real shame if you gave Corey my information. A real shame.
You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you're talking about a really good friend. Jeez.
Yeah, great fan. Shout out to Corey.
No doubt.
The last thing I have, and this was great. I mean, I feel like I could talk hoops with you all day, but outside of basketball, you used to sing the anthem frequently before games. What got you into singing? How did they approach you about doing that, or were you like, "No, I'm not playing until you let me sing the anthem"?
No, man.
In my contract.
I think it was. You know how they have media day, right? Like the start of every NBA season, media day, and I think they had a microphone on the court for doing something, and I just grabbed the microphone and started, singing, just messing around. I was doing it all like Frank Sinatra, like, "Oh, say on you," And then, and I kept going with it a little bit, and then the PR girl at the time, Tiffany Farhar at Dallas Mavericks, she was like, "Stack, you gotta sing the national anthem." I'm like, "Man, come on, I'm not singing the national anthem. I'm just messing around." She's like, "No, you sound great. You sound amazing." So she gassed me up, and you
was like, "You know what? I did sound pretty good."
Yeah.
And I was always singing in the locker room. All the guys knew me for kind of my R&B, and so I was. So I decided to do it, man. I stepped out, and it was a Laker game. I think we were playing the Lakers, and I stepped out and did it, man. And from there, the Katrina game happened in Houston, Katrina relief game, and they wanted someone to sing it there. I stepped up and sang it there. Sang it at Milwaukee when I was there, and in Brooklyn. So it kind of became something that the teams that I was on big games, I tried to sing them. The only one I lost was in Milwaukee against the Atlanta Hawks. That was my only loss.
That's a pretty good record, though. You'll take that.
No doubt.
Were you more nervous for the first time you did that than any time you played basketball?
Oh man, it was so nerve-wracking, man. Because it's nothing like you can play in front of 100,000 people, but he's like, "Man, I do not want to forget these words, man. Yeah. Don't let me forget these words." So the first time it was like, I'm just gonna close my eyes and go there. So I can make sure I'm kind of visualizing. I got a little teleprompter behind my lids of my eyelids of the words. Yeah. But now it was, it was cool. Like anything, once you do it one time, you get it, get it under your belt a little bit, get your feet wet. Now I felt really comfortable doing it from there on. But I grew up in the church, man. My mom and dad, my mom's a minister, my dad's a deacon in the church. So and he was a choir leader. So I just grew up around, music. My brothers and sisters, they were all, big music lovers. So it was just something that was going on in our household.
You brought up the R&B. Who are you most likely to sing after a game, before a game, when you're warming up? What was your favorite thing to sing?
Free throw line, or just who are you humming in your head?
For probably doing that, I was big on that Jaheim, right?
Okay.
Jaheim, Neo.
Yeah.
Like old school, like Guy, and I was big on those. Now, I like the young. Chris Brown, Trey Songz, Jacquees, what I'm saying? So I think those are guys that are on the playlist right now. I'm on all across genres, man, when it comes to, R&B and hip hop. So I get at it a little bit.
Listen, whenever you and Walter McCarty, when you get him playing the saxophone, whenever you guys want to drop the duet album, we'll be first in line.
You're ready.
Hey, now Walter got pipes.
Yeah, he's got it all. Listen,
pipes,
you got it all. You get Oladipo in there. You guys can get a real project going.
No doubt. Yeah. Oh yeah. Big got some pipes too, man. So we might have to connect and do a little something later on down the road.
Well, we got Jerry Stackhouse. That was a lot of fun. Thank you so much, head coach of Vanderbilt University. Look forward to having Jacquees sing the national anthem to open up conference play next year. But Jerry, thank you for joining us, man.
I appreciate you guys, man. Y'all have a good one.
You too.
You too, man. Stay safe.